like a criminal law textbook. Bribery, extortion, wire fraud, money laundering, tax evasion, obstruction of justice. According to the FBI's investigation, codenamed Operation Capital Sale, Bradford had been selling his office to the highest bidder since 2019. Foreign governments and multinational corporations didn't pay him directly. That would have been too obvious. Instead, they funneled money through his brother's so-called consulting firm. The firm had no office, no employees, no history of consulting work. Yet somehow, it had earned $38.6 million in just 3 years. Every single client received favorable legislative or regulatory treatment soon after paying. German defense contractors paid $3.1 million. Japanese tech companies contributed $2.4 million. Korean shipbuilders funneled $2.8 million. Healthcare corporations paid $3.7 million. Banking interests provided $4.2 million. Energy corporations alone transferred a staggering $29 million. Each payment corresponded neatly with votes, committee pressure, or blocked legislation. The most damning evidence didn't come from spreadsheets or bank records. It came from Bradford's own voice. FBI wiretaps captured him speaking with lobbyists and foreign officials with stunning arrogance. In one recording, Bradford told lobbyist James Chun, $15 million gets you a guaranteed no vote on reform legislation. I want $8 million up front. In another call with German official Klaus Wehrer, Bradford stated casually, I control committee assignments and judicial recommendations. Federal judges are $4 million each. Appeals judges are $8 million. Supreme Court influence starts at $40 million. The most shocking recording involved Supreme Court nominations. Bradford told corporate representative David Torres, $40 million to my brother's consulting firm guarantees the next Supreme Court justice will be business-friendly. The investigation revealed something even darker. Bradford maintained a private judicial database. His staff tracked over 150 federal judges, documenting political leanings, career ambitions, and financial vulnerabilities. Judges seeking promotion were quietly offered Senate confirmations in exchange for favorable rulings. Judge Patricia Morrison alone received $280,000 in speaking fees from Bradford-linked organizations while presiding over cases involving his corporate donors. On one wiretap, Bradford bragged, I don't just recommend judges. I create them. Foreign corruption ran just as deep. Russian oligarch Viktor Petrov paid $9.7 million to weaken sanctions. Chinese official Wei Chun contributed $7.22 million to prevent technology restrictions. Saudi Representative Ahmed Hassan provided $8.4 million to ensure weapons sales continued. In one call, Bradford told Petrov, for $15 million, sanctions stay symbolic. No enforcement. No asset freezing. When Petrov asked about competition, Bradford replied, Victor, I control sanctions legislation. Your money buys American foreign policy for 2 years. Monday morning arrived cold and gray. By 8 a.m., federal marshals had locked down the courthouse. Mediatrax Lain Federal Plaza. This wasn't just another criminal case. It was a test of whether the justice system could stand up to raw political power. At exactly 10 a.m., Senator Michael Bradford entered the courtroom. Everything about him projected dominance. He walked like he was heading to a press conference, not a criminal arraignment. His tailored suit probably cost more than most Americans earn in months. His silver hair was flawless. His gray eyes scanned the courtroom like it belonged to him. Behind him followed an entourage that looked more like a presidential delegation than a defense team. Attorney Marcus Wellington led 6 associates carrying boxes of documents. Former Justice Department officials, media strategists, and Senate staffers followed closely. What struck me most was Bradford's expression. There was no fear, no humility. He looked confident, almost amused. The clerk announced the case. United States versus Michael James Bradford. The charges were read aloud. Wellington immediately stood. Not guilty, Your Honor. Senator Bradford challenges this court's jurisdiction and reserves the right to seek transfer based on congressional immunity. I reviewed the file calmly. Mr. Wellington, bribery is not protected legislative activity. Before his attorney could respond, Bradford stood up himself. Your Honor, he said confidently, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I looked directly at him. Senator Bradford, sit down. Let your attorney speak. I've overseen judicial nominations for 22 years, he continued. I believe that gives me standing here. Your experience is irrelevant, I replied. You are the defendant. For the first time, irritation flashed across his face. Your Honor, he said coldly, I control this court. The room froze. Reporters stopped typing. Even the air felt heavier. Senator Bradford, I asked slowly, what did you just say? I said I control this court, he repeated. I control judicial funding, appointments, budgets, and oversight. I stood up from the bench and stepped forward. Senator, you control nothing in this courtroom. You clearly don't understand political reality, he sneered. Courts depend on Senate approval. I walked closer. Are you threatening this court? I'm educating it, he said smugly. Bailiff, I said firmly, arrest Senator Bradford for contempt of court. His confidence shattered instantly. You can't arrest me. I'm a U.S. Senator. Not in my courtroom, I replied. As marshals handcuffed him, he shouted, I am the law. No, I said quietly. The Constitution is. Video of that moment went viral within hours. Millions watched him declare, I control this court. Within days, Senate leadership stripped him of committee roles. Ethics investigations expanded. At trial, the evidence crushed him. The jury convicted him on all counts. He was sentenced to 16 years in federal prison and ordered to repay $38.6 million. 8 months later, I received a letter from federal inmate Michael Bradford. He admitted everything. He wrote that prison had taught him what power never did, accountability. I never replied, but I kept the letter. Because judicial independence isn't theoretical. It's defended one moment at a time. When a politician claims ownership of the courts, democracy itself is under attack. And sometimes the only response is simple. Not in my courtroom. I'm Frank Caprio. Remember, justice doesn't serve power. Power serves justice.